PlayStation bringing more games to Xbox might be a possibility, so let's go ahead and get right into it. So yes, guys, we're talking about exclusives here on the channel in today's video. If you haven't seen the news, let me go ahead and bring it up right here for you guys. From Hazardor Gaming, he posts about a job listing on this website. It says, according to job listings, Sony to expand PlayStation Studios titles across Steam, Epic, Xbox, Nintendo, and mobile. The thing that we're focusing on there obviously is Xbox, because Xbox has brought its games to PlayStation. I know a lot of people online are, mostly fanboys, are having meltdowns about this news, as you may or may not expect. It is a minefield on social media today because of this news. Now, I'm going to try tackling this from the perspective of not a fanboy. I'm just gonna try to be a gamer about this and give my actual genuine and honest thoughts on it, because we kind of went through the exact same thing here on the channel whenever Xbox started bringing their games to PlayStation, and it was only 4 games, and then it turned out to be a lot more than 4, and the list is assumedly going to just keep growing, right? So looking at PlayStation, I actually also have this up. It starts with Helldivers 2 coming to Xbox August 26th. So I'm looking forward to that because I love Helldivers 2. If you like co-op shooters, Helldivers 2 is right up your alley. You're just killing aliens with friends. It is very good fun. But that is the first game up from PlayStation on the Xbox platform. Now, this leads into some speculation, and this is the really fun part, because what does this mean going forward after Helldivers 2? Because I would certainly assume that Helldivers 2 is not the only thing PlayStation is going to be bringing to Xbox. Now, for my money, I would absolutely start, and I've got Steam brought up here, I would start with everything that they've already brought to PC. Obviously, Helldivers is up first. It's at the top of that list right there. But I would start with everything they brought to PC. I'm looking at games like Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man Remastered, Spider-Man Miles Morales, Ghost of Tsushima, Last of Us. Last of Us makes so much sense just because you're also having a TV show at the exact same time. Season 2 just ended. Season 3 is coming either next year or the end of this year. I can't remember exactly. What better thing to do than to line that up with a release on Xbox, because that will absolutely sell on Xbox. So that would be great. You could do part 1 and part 2 on Xbox, and that would be phenomenal, actually. I look at a game like Horizon. Listen, I don't love Horizon Forbidden West. People do. People really love it. So, it makes sense. Bring it over. Let people try it. I really enjoyed Horizon Zero Dawn. I'd probably get that if they brought it to Xbox. God of War is obviously a big one. They've got both 2018 and Ragnarok on PC. Bring those over to Xbox. It makes a lot of sense. Now, this one, Uncharted Legacy of Thieves Collection, excuse me. If you guys don't know, this is an Xbox channel, but if you guys don't know, Uncharted is a top 3 gaming franchise for me. It is by far the best thing to me that Sony has ever done. So if they brought Uncharted to Xbox, I'd be all over it. I already bought it on PlayStation. I already bought it on PC. I will buy it again on Xbox if it comes to Xbox. So I look at games like even the second party or third party, whatever you want to call it, but games like, I'm looking at Beyond Two Souls. I just recently, not too long ago, beat Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls and Detroit Become Human. All 3 of those games are absolute bangers. I would buy them if they came to Xbox. Absolutely, no questions asked. Great games, and I highly recommend checking them out. They are on PC, obviously. But yeah, start with all these games that are on PC and then just work your way from there. Decide what you want to come next. But the porting job is already done. You've already ported these to PC. I talked about this with my buddy Cozy Beluga. We did a show yesterday. If you guys don't know, I'm recording this on Saturday. But Fridays at 4 p.m. Eastern, we do a show bullshitting on TSWS Gaming. It's myself, Loke 7, Ham Solo, Cozy Beluga, Mental 9R, and usually a guest or two. And after the show is when this news broke, and we all just sat in the chat room talking for like 2 hours after the show, right? And Cozy was saying it's all the same architecture, so porting the games would be easy as shit. And this was my suggestion. I said, start with all the games you've already ported and just bring those over. It makes so much sense. And a lot of these games, like I'm looking at like Spider-Man and Last of Us and Ghost of Tsushima, God of War, fucking Uncharted. Like these are all games that would just print money. They would absolutely print money on Xbox for PlayStation. And that's another reason why this would be so great for PlayStation is because of the fact this makes PlayStation money, specifically PlayStation money, even more so than Xbox putting games on PlayStation, just due to the fact that Xbox is a small part of a much larger company. PlayStation is the part of Sony. It is literally the thing that is keeping Sony alive, and it has been for well over a decade at this point. Like well over a decade at this point. So, like looking at it from that aspect, you selling games on Xbox is going to make Sony more money. What is Sony going to do with that money? More than anything else, they're not going to invest it in the fucking Walkman. They're not going to invest it in TVs. They're not going to invest it in whatever other shit they might do. They're going to invest it into PlayStation, which means if you're a PlayStation gamer, this is going to lead to better games, or at least it should. It should hopefully lead to better games. I mean, nothing's guaranteed, but in theory, that should lead to more money to create better games for the fans. That is a good thing. There's no way that that can be spun as a bad thing. And while we're talking about that, let's also consider this scenario. Imagine yourself being the CEO of PlayStation, and you get this paper and it has all these numbers on it, and it's like, hey, Forza Horizon 5 is the top selling thing on PlayStation right now. And then you look and it's like Minecraft is also selling crazy on PlayStation. And then you look and you see Oblivion Remastered is also selling crazy on PlayStation. And then you look and you see Indiana Jones is also doing very well on PlayStation. And then you look and you see Doom the Dark Ages is also doing very... Like, at a certain point, you're like, okay, all of that money is going to my... And that I did not even mention Call of Duty, because let's keep in mind, Microsoft owns Call of Duty right now. They now own Call of Duty. So you got to also factor in Call of Duty as well, right? So all of that is making money on PlayStation's platform, and it's making them a lot of money. So if you're the CEO of PlayStation, you're looking at that going like, holy shit, we got to do something about that. And what is the most logical thing to do about this? Exactly what Xbox is doing. Put your games on the other platform. I mean, that's really the only answer there is Xbox is making money off of your platform. It stands to reason that you should probably want to be making money off of Xbox's platform, because if you're not, then you're just leaving money on the table. And at the end of the day, the corporations don't care about fanboys. Like, if you have this weird parasocial relationship with corporations, it's important to know that they do not care about you. They want the most money possible. It's exactly why Xbox is pivoted to this multi-platform strategy. And it's exactly why you're seeing a job listing like this for PlayStation, where they want to say, hey, we want to focus on Steam, Epic, Xbox, Nintendo, and mobile. That's why you're seeing that. They want the most money possible. And how do you do that? Put your games as many places as possible. Give as many people as possible the opportunity to give you money. It just makes the most sense. That's exactly what Xbox is doing. PlayStation's like, shit, we're going to get in on that. And keep in mind, I'm coming at this from just like a regular gamer's perspective. I'm not doing the whole fanboy thing. I don't do that on this channel. Outside of like joking around on like podcasts and stuff, which I do quite often. But outside of that, I don't do the fanboy thing on this channel. So if that's what you came to see, I do apologize, but that's not what you're getting here. But the reason why this is great for PlayStation is because regardless of them bringing games to Xbox or Nintendo or whatever, Like, PlayStation is kind of the default console. Like, if a kid wants a console for Christmas, say a kid, I want to play the new Call of Duty. What's his parents going to get him? A PlayStation. I want to play the new GTA. What's his parents going to get him? Probably a PlayStation, because it's just a more widely known and accepted brand than Xbox. At least certainly in the western part of the world, that is certainly the case, and even on the eastern part of the world. But I would say Nintendo kind of has that market also. But they're still the default console. Like, they don't lose anything by doing this. Now you've got the people who are going to be like, oh, but the hardware, because the same thing was said about Xbox is, oh, the hardware. You know, if they do this, it's going to devalue the hardware. Nobody's going to buy it, and then eventually they'll stop making it. Well, here's the thing. Eventually, they're going to stop making consoles anyway. I think Xbox has a generation left. I think they have the next generation left. I think PlayStation maybe has two. Maybe has two generations left. But after that, like, kids, take a look at kids. iPad kids is a real thing. Like, they don't care about PlayStation. They don't care about Xbox. They don't even care about Nintendo. Kids want to play games wherever they are. They want to play Roblox. They want to play Fortnite. Where can I play that? I can play that on my iPad. So why do I need anything else? Dude, imagine their kids. They're going to care even less about this stuff. And by that time, we'll be on the PS7, and that might be it. That might be it. We might be done, honestly, with consoles, because there are numbers to prove that, like, yo, the console industry isn't growing. In fact, it's slowly declining. Not saying that it's face planting on itself. I'm just saying that it is slowly declining. And if that is the case, well, then being a hardware company like PlayStation might not be the thing to bet on in the long haul. So, and the good thing about this is that PlayStation, with their player base and the fact that they still are selling consoles left and right, they've got time. They got so much time to do this and adapt and move things a little slowly and methodically. They've got plenty of time to do that because, like I said, they're the default console, right? Like, them bringing games to PlayStation isn't going to make someone's grandma not buy them a PlayStation 5 for Christmas. That's not how it's going to work. So they're the default console. They've got time to do this. It's not going to hurt the brand really, outside of a couple goobers being like, oh, I'm done with PlayStation. Like, a bunch of chest-pounding fanboys on social media are going to cry that they're done with PlayStation. Sure, whatever, be done with PlayStation. But most people aren't going to be. Just like most people on Xbox were not done with Xbox when they put games on PlayStation. It is what it is. And if you are done with the platform, you're not going to the other platform. You're going to PC. Because PC is growing pretty rapidly. Whereas console is declining slowly, PC is growing quite rapidly. So people who are leaving console aren't going to the other console, they're going to PC. And PC for both PlayStation and Xbox is just another place to make money. It's probably a little bit more important to Xbox because also Windows is there as well. But it's just another avenue to make money. That's why you see Xbox games on PC. That's why you see PlayStation games on PC, because it's another avenue to make stupid amounts of money. And that's exactly what these corporations want to do at the end of the day. So all in all, I think it's a good thing. It is a good thing. Like, for me as a gamer, giving me more options to play your games in different places is a good thing. I choose to play my games on Xbox and PC. So I'll be buying whatever games they put out that I'm interested in. If they put it out on Xbox, if they put it out on PC, that is where I'll be buying it. And that's a good thing. So if you're like me and you're excited about this, don't let anybody tell you that this is a bad thing. People are being goofy online. It's strange times out there. It is what it is. But go ahead and leave a comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts on all of this are. Leave that in the comments. Let me know exactly how you feel about this. And especially if you're somebody who's a PlayStation fan, not a fanboy, but a PlayStation fan, let me know how you feel about this in the comments. I'm dead serious. I'd love to hear what you think about this. Leave that in the comments below. Leave a like if you liked the video. And if you're enjoying this kind of content and you want to stay up to date with it going forward over here on the channel, the best way to do that is consider subscribing, consider ringing that notification bell, because it helps you stay up to date with everything that happens over here on the channel. And it helps promote me, and the algorithm helps push the videos out to way more people. And I always Always appreciate that. And with that being said, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.